So think about what was already kind of hitting you in a certain spot, kind of let it sit with you. I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys the crystals that are going to be the 4 being picked from today while I'm putting away these other cards so you can be focusing on the crystals. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm just seeing what I'm drawn to today. We are going to be doing Citrine, Garden Quartz, Rutilated Quartz, Smokey Quartz. It's one of those, but we're going to put the Garden Quartzes out there because that's Smokey Quartz. I'm just saying things out loud. Citrine, Smokey Quartz, Garden Quartz. And then, ooh, which one? Green Moonstone. Those are the 4. So I'm going to scoot these down because I'm going to be taking them. So I can put these up here for you guys to look at while I put these away. So like I was saying, Citrine, Smokey Quartz, Garden Quartz, and Green Moonstone. So just focus. This is going to be going more into clarifying for those of you that weren't quite sure what these gifts were. We're going to just dive in and be like, this is specific to you and your gifts where they resonate. So next first that I'm going to be using, and then I'm going to hold up the crystals to the camera. Hopefully it works with me and wants to actually show the crystals. So what we're going to be doing, we have the Goddess Power, because these have some pretty straightforward words on them that would connect with having some gifts. Then we are going to be using the Dreams of Gaia, because this isn't like a regular tarot. It actually has a lot of different symbolism that I connect more to intuition and gifts and things like that. And we're also going to be doing the Mystical Shaman Oracle, which it's interesting how a lot of that stuff in the collective went in different stuffs. I'm realizing the decks I picked are going to be correlating to a lot of it. We're going to be doing the Mystical Shaman Oracle. Like I said, more gifts or connections that you have. That's probably going to be more ancestral that you have there. And then we're going to be using the Moonlight Oracle. I'm really liking this oracle a lot. This has a lot. I haven't looked at all the cards because I don't know. I just don't like doing that. I kind of like discovering the decks as I go. I don't know how other people do their decks. But there's even some cards that show up in decks, and I've had the decks for like over a year, and I'm like, oh, I never saw that one before. But in this one, from what I've been seeing, there are crystals, there are mantras, there's timelines, there are different deities. There's just a whole bunch of stuff that likes to pop out in that one. So I figured it would just be a good one to throw in there as an ending piece to what we're doing on the pick-a-cards. So now that you guys have seen the decks that I'm going to be using, let me hold up each of these. So this is going to be, I'm going to see how this looks without the ring light, and if it needs the ring light, then I'm going to put it on. But I don't think it's going to need it. I just need to get it to focus in here. So this right here is the Citrine. This is going to be our group 1 for the pick a card. There's a lot of rainbows in this one. This right here is our Smokey, and it looks like it has a little bit of garden in here as well, just off to the side. It's like a smoky garden quartz. So this is the biggin, and it has, let me see if I can find the rainbows that are in this one. I think they're right here. Trying to make it show up in the light for you guys. And let's see. Not wanting to zoom in on my hand because of the fluorite over here. Okay, so, and these little babies, these are the twin, these are garden quartz, and this one even has some, well actually they both do because that little bit of red, but it's like a hematoid inclusion in both of them. Even it got sit like under here under his butt, but trying to get it down into the view of the camera. Like I said, I'm still getting used to it. It'll zoom in on my bracelets, but it won't zoom in on crystals. Okay, so these both are garden quartz. They're gonna be our little twin group over here. And then we have our green moonstone. She's a little shimmer. Trying to see if I can like cover that green fluorite because it keeps taking the floor over here. There we go. But yes, this one's the green moonstone. So, like I said, citrine, smoky, garden quartz, and green moonstone. So we're going to jump into our citrines first and get some more info on you guys. Some hidden talents, gifts, psychic abilities, things like that. Some untapped potential. The past. We're just gonna, is this the call out group over here? Some of your talents are literally in the past. I think this is the part of you guys that saw yourselves having the weak links. There's literally a lot of strength. I think that's the pile here that has all the discernment and the power and the courage and perseverance, but yet you're really turning your back on certain things and letting it restrict you. We have compassion. You guys definitely have that ability to connect to people, to be able to have a more common ground and be able to not put yourself in this place where you feel you're above other people, But at the same time, you need to have this compassion for yourself as well. The same thing that you give to others. You also, I said this in the thing, so for those of you that really connected to that humor thing and the storyteller, that energy's here. For some of you, the literal talking, that voice power, was being able to master storytelling. It's almost like whatever you write, you can actually speak it. Or some of you literally could be actor, actress interested. Because I know that's very specific, but it's almost like you can really find your niche in comedy, is what randomly wants to come through on that one. But there's also just being able to bring a sense of peace to the past by being able to find the silver lining or the humor in certain situations, which allows you to have more compassion for either what you've gone through yourself, other people, or even where other people came from in doing their things, even if it wasn't okay. We also have White Buffalo Kaufleman, which is reverence. And it's like I was saying before, some of you people just are attracted to you, your energy, what you have to say. It's why you have to be careful with the power that you have in your words, because this mastery and being able to show these things literally through it's like speaking compassionately. It's almost like having a tender voice. I don't know if some of you have been told like you talk and you make other people feel very calm. It also can make people, this could also be good counselor type energy, because it could really bring a sense of safety and calm to people that need to travel through past hurts in order to progress. And it's because you're able to master what has happened through your past and able to bring a new light to it. It's like having compassion, being able to see the good, still remain optimistic, and people look up to that. So let's see what the Dreams of Gaia wants to bring out here, talking about some more of these. Gifts and talents and abilities. Yeah, some of you, it's getting really specific that what you guys need to heal either yourselves or what you're very good at showing compassion for and helping others heal through is just how broken their masculine and feminine energy is. And that's usually because they feel they have to be more one than the other in order to have self-worth. Or that could be how you feel. It's like you feel like you need to be more of a go-getter than allowing things to come to you, which would be at that masculine feminine imbalance. Or it could be just the energy of you just let everything happen, you don't stand up for yourself, and that would be going more on the side of feminine, where you're starting to wallow and fall into a place that definitely will stifle you. And usually that'll happen a lot if you keep going back to the past without having compassion for yourself. But definitely if this is something you've mastered, you could be helping others work through this by telling your story and having a more lighthearted approach to it. Even though there might be some sensitive topics, you would obviously give it, I like how I was about to say, you would obviously give it what it needs, like having this Two of Fire here. You would give equal time to the light and the shadow. You would have compassion for both, or you need to have this. There needs to be a balance of this. For those of you that have been mastering this and you're starting to come out of your shell and shine, this is pretty much like people really wanting to flock to you. But with them wearing masks in this, it's almost like people aren't fully seeing you yet. So just be careful when this starts happening. Of course, share what you want to share. You're not obligated to share your entire past. whatever you're called and you feel that you want to do. But at the same time, this is kind of showing that, yes, you're showing different sides of yourself, but you're not showing the full thing, and nor do you have to. For some people, they might reveal their full hand to you, and you're just going to be like, you know, like, I really appreciate you trusting me in this way, and you're going to have compassion for it, but you need to have boundaries as well. Because in this right here, the hair being braided between the two of them shows that, like I said, with that empath energy, there's a lot of that coming in here. You guys can easily take on the energy of somebody else. That's why you can understand it so easy, but at the same time, it can be a double-edged sword. And then we have the Ten of Water, and this being reversed. You guys have a very strong spiritual connection, something you can master very easily. But like I said, this is that group that has that trust issue here. But this is also you being able to deep dive into other people's psyches, really mastering this energy through what you do. Because it's almost like you give people a space where they can, like, relive things but not get stuck there, and that's a really powerful thing. Like, that's being able to master your own energy and being able to understand that, you know, people throwing their energy, like, you just keep your stuff up. It's not like you're necessarily throwing it back at them, you're just allowing it to go into space. Like, you're fine with it going wherever it needs to go as long as it doesn't affect you, but it's not like you're wishing something back. You understand where they're coming from because you have compassion. You've mastered this part of yourself. You can actually see beyond depths here. Like, this is like a deep dive into the depths as well. But it's also being able to be at peace with a very dark side of yourself too, or working towards doing that. And then we have Queen of Fire, which I think is freaking adorable with this kitty. But this coming out with this humor too. Like, this really reminds me a lot of Leo energy. I mean, she's extravagant. Like, she has her cat. And it's like, this is someone that's very generous and has, like, so much, like, this humor, like, this childlike essence still. And even though she's a queen, she can still appear very young, but she can also be very fiery with her emotions over here. So that's why it's really important, like I said, that power in the voice, the commanding presence of a room. This right here is something that you're learning to let go and be a part in, because these butterflies are kind of tiny. It's tying back to this two energy over here with these two butterflies. It's like it's learning that balance and learning, like, the intertwining of the shadow and the light, and that's what brings upon this energy. Okay, we're having you come out here, and got one of Earth, this dragon that decided he wanted to throw himself and like 50 other things out, but he's the important one. You guys, with your deep connection to some Earth energy here, whether it's in your chart or it's just something that really calms you, it can bring you this peace. If you're having trouble finding it, if you're having trouble mastering things, some of you just need to go play in the mud. That's just some random thing right there. Like, go do something childish and have fun. Do something like a fun hike, a picnic, even if it's in your backyard. It's like, allow yourself to do something that, even though, like I said, this is some of you guys that feel like doing little things is a waste of time. Do something for yourself that's out of the ordinary, that you'll have fun with, possibly with somebody else that you really cherish, and like have fun and laugh and like shut down the social media a little bit. Allow yourself to have this growth period here, because this is it's like a small little root starting to sprout, but there's so much intention in this. This is major manifestation energy, just by you allowing yourself to get back to that. And then we have the Seven of Fire over here with, she's got two, there's a lot of twos coming out here. This group might have a lot of repeating twos that you guys are seeing. But she has her two kitties going on over here. And she has the lotus, this wisdom. She has the snake with knowledge, the butterfly transformation energy on her third eye, and she's like using a scrying bowl. For some of you, you might actually have some good potential like doing scrying or divination, whatever form that takes. But you definitely have the aptitude for doing that. Your connection to animals is really uncanny. Probably can sense illness in animals, or just be able to really understand what they need when people are like, what the hell is wrong with my cat? But for those of you that applies to. So let's go into this shaman oracle and see what goes on here. So we flow and fire coming out together. We got an orb here, guys. So Flo, we're looking over here at her. She is like, this is reminding me of that mastery card. This is complete mastery over here with how she's controlling this. She also has this moon in the background over here as well as over here. This is a lot of intuition, mastery of emotions. Like, this is paying attention to some of that crown chakra up there too. It's being very in tune with this energy. You guys definitely have a very direct connection. And this is, like I was saying, some of this divination stuff, I can feel like this is like almost like crystal ball or fire candles. Like, this is definitely like some divination energy where you guys, like I was saying with that last card, definitely have some divination here. There's even water over here. It could really be some water scrying for you guys if you've never looked into that. Or crystal scrying, getting crystals, whatever. There's just a lot of energy here where you guys are very spiritual and easily can master these things if you allow yourself. Hey, Anna. So let's see some more that want to come out here. We got completion. Like I was saying, this group, your mastery, there's so much in here with mastery. You even got completion. And it's another circle. This is the Ouroboros, by the way. So this is you guys really mastering that north and south node energy also. This is why your voice is so important, because you mastering these energies in completing your process of the depths is pretty much what you're being given this gift of your voice for. It's why you're being given the gift of mastery and compassion, is literally because it's like you're gonna complete cycles, especially when it comes to your own healing, and you're gonna be able to use it to pretty much usher in this healing energy. This, like I said, this is performance also, because having that humor over there really makes me think of Leo energy. This is like performance arts. Counseling and performance arts is coming through really strong with this group. The Beloved, more red energy. This is coming out with that Queen of Fire, which is also a very protective energy. So, like I was saying, you guys are very connected to divine energy. You're really watched over by ancestors. So for those of you that connected to that, possibly more research on your ancestors, because there's a lot here about you, like being the beloved is like being the one that's been passed the gifts, and like you're being watched over so you can bring things to completion. The circle, like, okay, this is almost like the Wheel of Fortune card. This is a lot of blessings. This is things coming full circle. Like I said, there's definitely some things that have been passed down to you, and it's like you're completing it and like getting the abundance, because earth energy is very abundant too. This also has the number 8, which is Saturn, a lot of karmic energy here. You guys are really breaking free of certain things, and it's because you have this connection, even if you're just starting to tap into it, or you're really far along your journey with this mastery energy, you're going to master these things. So if you're having trouble, this is probably because you need to open this connection more, and it's going to allow you to start working through things. It's going to create more of an energy that helps you along instead of makes you feel like really like... I don't know how many times you guys want me to talk about scrying in this group, but some of your guides are really wanting you to scry, because this smoky mirror energy, it's even smoky, it's still working with divination, with the smoke and the water, mirror scrying, water scrying, candle, whatever you are pulled to do. This is just a whole lot of like divination and connecting energy because of what you're supposed to be doing. That's probably why if some of you are feeling very blocked, that could be a really good reason why, is because you're supposed to be tapping into that side of your potential, because there's an imbalance there in order to start accessing it. And we got pyrite for you guys. Like I was saying, abundance in this group. You guys know this... Love, here, I'm going to take this out for you guys so you can see. This right here is pyrite. Now it has some other like hematite inclusions and things like that, but this is a pyrite piece. This is the stone of abundance, of grounding, of protection. Like it has so much here. It really links to the solar plexus chakra with this gold color, with your confidence and inner child energy, your humor energy, like just being able to work with it in that sense. You guys actually got this card, and it says on it, confidence, luck, and prosperity. And this is pretty much trying to show you guys, like, for those of you that are worried about it, you're actually wasting some time over here. It's why you're having this masculine feminine imbalance, is because you're trying to go about it like you need to have the money, when in reality you need to more allow it to happen. For some of you, like it's like on flow too. Like you need to allow some of these things to just happen instead of feeling like you need to have your hand in everything. Because even though you guys are creators, because this performance art energy is like creator type energy, or even like being that counsel, but then going on to do something with it because people listen to you. You just need to have your confidence. Like you naturally have your connection, which means you naturally have your luck. You don't have to sit here looking everywhere for it. You just need to tap into it. And then sacred sisterhood. Connect with your soul sisters to uplift and inspire each other. So once again, this coming out over here, having that shadow and light aspect, having compassion. Like I said, you guys naturally are going to draw your people to you. This isn't something you have to work at. If you're feeling like you need to work at it and you're feeling stressed about it, that's actually what's blocking you. Like this is something that is like, this is going to be like bursts that this happens with this fire. It's not going to be more of a flow. There's going to be a lot of unexpected energies. And it's going to be a lot of give and take that happens. There's going to be a lot of compassion. There's going to be this energy that is almost like a soul level connection. Because once again, this is going into that divination energy. This is like, it even has fire here with the fire. It's like, I don't know how much fire you guys need lighting this up over here. Some of you probably have some fire placements you need to pay a little more attention to in your charts to learn where your gifts are. or literally look at your Mars and see what drives you. Okay, once again with the fire, freaking goddess of the volcano over here. Creativity, change, and protection. Once again with the protection, like I was saying, you guys are a very guided group, very fiery, very creative. You need to be more open to change and allow yourself to just flow with this energy. There's a lot of you needing like this learning of allowance, and you're not going to master this until you learn that aspect. And then we have Moonstone, which is this little sphere over here. And this, where the green Moonstone is actually a pile. I got a lot of Moonstone, peach Moonstone. But yeah, back to this. Intuition, divine feminine, and moon magic. I don't know how much you need to see some divine feminine over here and be telling you to tap into some... We're just going to get a card that says it too. We just need the card that says divine feminine. If it wasn't clear enough with all of these lower chakra colors, and this card not straightening, and all this need to balance masculine and feminine, like sacred sister, this is a whole bunch of lower chakra divine feminine energy. It's almost like that flow is what is going to ignite this. And then we have Sarasvati, goddess of art, music, knowledge, and eloquence. Do you guys really need me to keep saying that this is some performance art speaking, like using your knowledge and putting it out there for people to hear you? And then you guys have universal love, choose love, that compassion card up there. Definitely for this group with our citrine energy, because like I was saying, we need to go over the citrine properties. Citrine is connected to the solar plexus, much like how a lot of this is connected to the solar plexus, sacral, and root chakra. There is a lot of creative burst energy here. Citrine, all about some creativity, confidence, being able to explore these different things, bringing luck and abundance. It is a stone where you want to have some fun and inject some actual light into what's happening in situations. It really helps with that joy feeling, like bringing in joy, bringing in a sense of security. So pretty much everything that came out here, great for like helping with artist block, it's writer's block, whatever it is. Like a lot of this is literally what this helps with. So I mean, this just completely matched with the crystal. So let's see what our next group, which is the Smokey Quartz, actually has going on over here. Put him... Yeah, we'll put him like that. There we go. So let's go ahead and see what are these hidden gifts and talents, or possibly any kind of intuitive or more spiritual abilities want to come out for our Smokey Quartz people. We have stillness, so this is my grounded group. That natural gift of being in your element and feeling at home in it. Is also having a sense of freedom when you're in this element too. It's like being at home in hermit energy, but not feeling the need to impress with it. You guys have compassion too, but it's coming from more of a grounded perspective. This isn't, how can I put this? This isn't like a rushed compassion. This could also be that you learned compassion by really doing a lot of introspecting and allowing yourself the stillness you needed to develop it. But for a lot of you, this gift is literally allowing yourself to be a gentle presence and actually have a calming, neutral aura around you that gives off this compassion for other people without you really trying. It's like because you're not trying to interject your energy on people. You guys have knowledge, so obviously you know you're doing this thing. You've actually probably researched a lot to get to this area. This is probably my group of researchers. This seems like you guys have done a lot of learning, gained a lot of wisdom, but this can also come through guidance as well, like you guys having that connection and just allowing yourself to be still. And a lot of this knowledge comes from the fact that you are more than able to admit that you are inexperienced, that you don't know everything. So another really good gift to have here is this humbleness. It's like it makes you always teachable. Whereas some people who feel like they have everything, even though they have a lot of knowledge and they're very confident in it, this is going to really help level the playing field out to where it's like you stay humble because you realize there's always, everything you learn, there's still much more to learn. So it's like a very humbling energy. But you need to make sure that you don't just sit in this humbling energy and it becomes a very self-critical energy. Because if you sit with it too long instead of looking at what you naturally have, you can just sit here and really focus on what you don't. You guys also have revelation here. Made me think of clairvoyance, for one. Like probably like dreams, different things like that, just having deja vu quite frequently. Probably a lot of the things that drove you to try to learn about things as you grew up having activated gifts and did not understand them at all, because her crown chakra is like a literal light bulb up there. All of this energy is like, it's like electric. It's like you might even have things where you've had weird things happen with appliances. It's like you've just had so many strange occurrences that you really started researching things, and then you learned that you needed to actually ground your energy because you grew up not really understanding it that well. So it's more like that drove you to realize you needed to have more experience with what was going on instead of just letting it go by the wayside and ignoring it. So let's see what the Dreams of Gaia Tarot have to say here. And make sure you guys are drinking your water here, or tea, or whatever you want to drink. I'm probably going to drink some of my tea after this. So you guys have, this is interesting. So you guys have the Seven of Fire, which has all this knowledge and scrying and everything, and it's in reverse. And this is almost giving me the feeling that you guys like rely too heavily on tools that help you bring out your intuition when your stillness is all you need. You don't need to have, like, let's say, like, you have trouble trusting your intuition, and then, like, you go and you pick up a pendulum, and, like, you're asking questions and trying to get answers to things because you can't trust yourself. It's like you're going to sit here holding it and then hold your power hostage because You're not allowing yourself to be still in your energy. And okay, you're electrifying my finger. But you're not allowing yourself to stay still in the energy and trust yourself when... And that's because you're not having that compassion for yourself. Like, whatever's happened, whether people made you doubt yourself or whatever this is, or feel like you need to have a crutch in order for people to believe you, because that can be a lot of stuff too. It's like people need visuals in order sometimes to be able to connect to things. They need visual things because they are still learning themselves. They still have a lot of inexperience in things. And when things come through extremely clearly and you understand this and you're trying to talk about it, some people can't take things at face value. They can't just hear it. It's like they need something visually to see. I mean, honestly, that I love creating aesthetic for you guys. And that's one of the reasons you guys can connect to things visually. But it's like, for you guys, even though you might create a space that is visual for other people, this is a crutch and you don't need it. Like, the more you trust your own stillness and your own inner compass, instead of relying on the tools, that is what actually helps you more. It gets you more in tune with yourself. Then we have the Seven of Air, who, once again, has more tools over here. He has the, I believe it's pronounced mandala is how you say it. He has a whole bunch of, like, he has this book, research, all these things. The dagger, those are like ritual ceremonies for some people. I can't remember the name of it. But these, once again, are a whole bunch of tools. But if you're looking at this, it's like he doesn't have like pupils or whatever you want to call it here. Iris. He has eyeballs but no iris. It's almost like he's a stone statue. This is referring back to the stillness again. It's like this third eye starts creeping open once you are in your stone state. Once you kind of stop and allow yourself to be part of things, that's when this knowledge starts coming in. It's like you got to remove yourself from other people or other people's ideas in order for you to be able to really trust this. You also have like this lovely kind of halo energy around the crown as well. Like, you have very protected energy. Like, some of you might be scared that what's coming in isn't something that has your best interests. It is. You actually have a very protected crown chakra area. See, this is what I'm saying. You guys are getting this reversal over here. You're also getting that fire card, but it's reversed, coming out with this knowledge and compassion. You guys are used to people treating you like mirrors. Mostly because you exude the energy itself. You don't realize the knowledge you hold. It's almost like it feels a little burdensome. And it's like, at times it's very taxing to give that compassion to yourself. And it's also taxing to give that compassion to other people sometimes, because you literally very giving of your energy. And people don't know to the extent that you do it because it seems effortless. And they can easily take advantage of it. This is where you need to have boundaries. You need to have like a really like very clear thing about how far you extend your energy. Because with this in here, having that stone resilience and that like light around you is pretty much trying to say like your stillness is your best friend. You might feel like you want a bunch of people around you, but it's like people can depend on you, but they can depend on you from a distance because you absorb very easily. This is also something that you're constantly learning about yourself through things that happen to you. It's almost like the more things like this happen, it's like you keep gaining new bits of knowledge. And these two wanted to come out together. So we have the Three of Water, and we also have Emotions and Intellect reversed. Now, having both of these reversed, because in this card, she's actually bound by a lot, because it's wrapped all around her. there's these cords and they have symbols on them. And this card usually makes me think of Eight of Swords energy, where someone is really bound by their own thinking. They're bound by the pain in their heart, and also in close to the sacral. It's like that middle energy with the heart and the sacral. And just allowing yourself to be tied down by it. It's like being bound by it and trying to go against the current at the same time. It's like a lot of pain trying to push through this, but it's because you're not flowing with it. It's like you're not allowing yourself to be at peace. You're pushing something that is a very, I mean, obviously this inexperience over here, like you're not realizing you're pushing it. It's like you gain knowledge while you're pushing it. It's not like it's an all-in bad thing, because you're retrospective, you introspective, all that stuff. Like you can look in and realize, okay, I learned from that thing. But you also have emotion and intellect reversed here with inexperience. And I'm pretty sure for those of you that are in tune with this, because you guys are an in tune group, you already know with yourself that emotionally and intellectually you don't feel as mature as you need to be dealing with these things. For one, that's being honest with yourself, and that in itself is intellectual and emotional maturity. But also the only upright thing you have is having your stillness here. So other people really disrupt you. And it's like they definitely show you where you have inexperience, but at the same time, you guys need to not talk to yourself in such a way. Like this is a lot of doubt that this group has when you have such strength in your own personal power here that you don't need a lot of what other people need. And when you're trying to tie yourself down because you don't feel experienced enough, that automatically shuts off this connection you have, which is a really beautiful connection. I say you have a really beautiful connection. In the bottom of the deck we have the Child. This is very pure connection to have here, and that's why the stillness is so important, because if you're looking at these cards, they have the same kind of bright light vibrancy to them. And the Child itself is very divinely protected. They have that completely tuned in intuition because nothing has separated it. This is something you guys need to embrace. You still have this connection. It's just you don't feel like you're adequate because it doesn't look like other people. And that's something that is a battle. You have to kind of realize where you want to draw the line with where you listen to others and where you're tying yourself up, and where you're actually going to step out and realize, okay, I might not be completely at the place I would like to be, but that doesn't mean I don't have this connection. Like, you need to quit punishing yourself and feeling like because you don't have this, you don't deserve this. You have a very pure connection. It's not like you have to earn your connection. It's just there. Okay, so let's see. Like I said before, this is a lot of, with this deck, I tend to think of ancestor energy. I'm saying that and you guys get fire. This coming out with this again, this is letting you guys know you have natural divination ability. You don't need it. You need you. And like you burn, like you trailblaze. You're meant to be a trailblazer. Like you aren't supposed to be needing all these crutches that other people need. Eventually it will get to a place where people are going to realize these things are crutches, and it's more of like a visual stimulation. It's like a memory jogger, and they'll be more comfortable in their own intuition to where it won't be like they're questioning it. They'll know what resonates and what doesn't. No matter what you're saying, no matter where you're saying things, it's going to be that calm that you have inside that's going to be your greatest asset when you're trying to connect to these things. Because you, like I said, you have a very pure, open channel of connection here. You just have to be more loving towards yourself and trust it. Treat yourself more like you are the child. Like, give yourself compassion like that. Like, you wouldn't be sitting here expecting all this shit out of a little kid that has this connection. Like, you need to be a little kinder to yourself. Like I said, connection over here, the lower world. Like, this is literally like a spirit realm energy. Like, you guys have a major freaking connection here. And since this is like ancestor kind of energy, you guys definitely are connected to some ancestors. You probably got these gifts from ancestors. That's probably why there's this stillness, because they're always like around you. Like, they have an energy around you. Definitely protection. The witness, and she has this glowing eye on her hand. That right there is like, once again, seeing and gaining knowledge through experience, through doing, through witnessing certain things happening, whether it unfolded in your life or you're actually getting visions. Like I said, there is some clairvoyance energy here. You guys could have seen things happen through fire. You could have past life memories with this kind of energy. And it's trying to show you your connection, things you've witnessed or had to bear witness to. Or trying to teach you that, yes, you went through these things, but the pain is not supposed to keep you buried in it. It was meant to show you like a different way, so that way you can be more confident with whatever you choose to put your hands into, whatever you choose to put your energy into. For some of you, this is literally, I feel like you have energy healing with the hands, like Reiki, things like that. This, the witness thing could be you witnessing miracles and things that have happened through that kind of energy, and learning to believe that you can do it yourself. And then earth. Okay, we're just going to straight out bring out earth. And this coming out with inexperience. Some of you haven't given enough time to yourself to understand you have this connection. You just feel like there's a lot of other people that you've seen have things, and you're like, I don't feel like I have that connection. Maybe it's something else. This is literally calling out to you that you do have that connection, and you just haven't learned enough. Like, this is that knowledge thing. Like, learn more about it. Learn different ways to connect, because the inexperience is blocking this off. It's what's making you feel stunted over here and not giving yourself enough credit, is that you feel like you don't have the connection when you actually do. And you get the counsel. You definitely have the connection over here. Like, you have a group connection. You might as well have like a freaking messenger group that you're texting that is like constantly coming in and giving you visuals, giving you ways of understanding things, that claircognizance where you just know things. Like I said, that the divination tools for a lot of you are crutches, because it makes you not trust yourself. And a lot of times when you don't need them, if you keep getting mixed signals, it's because they're trying to show you, don't use me. Like, trust yourself, but doing this. Because I know when I do that to myself, sometimes if I keep doing something, it'll start giving me wacky answers. And it's like, you already know the answer, so we're going to keep throwing shit at you till you stop asking. And that can happen too. So definitely, for those of you that go through that and it makes you doubt yourself, is because it's literally like you already know, and we're trying to make you stop using this. We have, okay, some time things here. We have waxing crescent, initiative, make a wish, and make it a plan. So this is going to be happening after the new moon that is going to be coming up in a couple weeks, the new moon in Pisces. So after that new moon, probably like a call to, like, I wouldn't be surprised at that new moon for some of you getting activations, because this is trying to show you you don't need these things, you just need to have this stillness. And she has the same coloring as this stillness energy. This is like learning to trust the instinct you have inside and take initiative on it. It's like, this is saying make a wish, make it a plan. This is like you being able to find a way to ground the energy that's being activated. Because right now it just feels like it's like a ball of energy and you're trying to figure it out. Don't put tons of pressure on yourself. This is really trying to help you kind of gauge, like, use the next few weeks to kind of learn these things if you haven't, instead of being hard on yourself. It's like, use this opening to kind of get into those. And then bigger picture. Trust the universe to paint the picture. Like I said, for some of you, you're literally clairvoyant. You see visions, like you get things. Some of you are just painters and you literally paint visions, and you don't understand what the heck you're painting, but it's like a thing coming straight down, like when you allow yourself to be in that energy. Like I said, a lot of you, if you aren't doing this already, it's going to start coming out. Last quarter, which is release. This is coming up before this new moon. We might be in it already. I haven't looked at it. You guys are really needing to release some of this energy over here when it's coming to, like, what you've witnessed, what you've had to go through, the hang-ups with certain things, dealing with what you know and what you don't know, the pain you're keeping yourself locked up in. There pretty much is, like, when you're working up to this new moon, what you're trying to do is really help yourself with, where is my brain stopped? You're trying to help yourself with moving before you get this new thing. It's almost like you're getting an upgraded car or something. And you guys, we have the goddess of art, music, knowledge, and eloquence. So definitely, even though you guys aren't, like, broader spectrum, because it seemed like the first group had a lot of, like, you need to, like, wide areas and all this kind of stuff with your voice. This seems less, like the speaking, the counseling, and all that stuff, and this seems more about the art aspect and coming straight through your own stillness and then putting that out produced for other people, instead of, like, putting yourself in the mix. It's like you're more separate from people's energies. And okay, you guys need to look up these moons. This March is something for you guys. There, you just have a lot of timelines, because you have first quarter moon where you need to be taking some action, last quarter moon where you need to be releasing things, and then waxing crescent where you need to be taking some initiative and really trying to make a plan to make your wishes come true. Because this right here is like you bigger picture energy and Sarasvati, and having this crystal with this Smokey Quartz and some of that garden in there. You, for one, quartz itself, clear quartz, is all about amplifying and connection and just that upper chakra energy, aligning the chakras. But it also gives this grounding energy as well, where it helps pull you down. It brings that stillness as you're experiencing these things. You also tap into intuition more. It makes it to where a lot of the things that you feel aren't more readily available become clearer. Like, there's a lot of clarity. There's a lot more discernment. This can also help you build a lot of trust with yourself, like this trusting energy over here. Trusting your decisions when you want to do things. Definitely helps with that bigger picture. It really amplifies and opens the mind a lot more. Makes you more receptive, because clear quartz is a very receptive crystal. That really brings out the potential in a lot of things around it. It amplifies the properties of those things around it. So you yourself pretty much are an amplifier. Like, you're a living amplifier. Let's just put it that way. Like, the reason you don't need to be necessarily, like, in the midst of people is because your energy, what you create itself, is an amplifier. Is pretty much like a tool, which is why you don't need tools. You're a tool creator. I think that's what this is trying to say. The reason it's like you are hindered by using tools that others have created is because you're meant to be someone who creates tools for other people so that they can connect. You actually hinder yourself when you don't trust things that you are making because it doesn't look like other people. So allow yourself to listen to your connection that is very readily available for you, and allow yourself to create things that are going to help ground other people. Because, I mean, you don't need to be in the mosh pit to feel the energy. You can feel it from across the country if you really wanted to. I wouldn't recommend it, though. So let's go ahead and see what's going on with our little twin guys over here, the little twin garden quartzes. For this pile. For our group over here. The little twins. I don't even know, obviously we haven't started yet, but I feel like this is going to deal a lot with the mastery, with that Gemini energy, the Mercury energy, probably a lot of that organization and alchemy. So let's see what comes out over here. You guys just get some straight up Gaia. She's going to come out and just sit with you and be like Earth. Like, that's just her message, Earth. Like, you guys, garden quartz too, can be, this could be my nature pile, that green thumb pile, the ones that you connect to nature and some beautiful things come through. Some of you don't realize just how connected to nature you are. And just how much potential it holds for you. Some of you need to do more routines that center around bringing more nature into your life. This is also my group that are very naturally good at manifesting. Like this Gaia having the pregnant energy is much Empress. It is very abundant. It's very fertile. It's like what you put your intention to, you can manifest. Like I said, that alchemy energy, being able to create. Humor. You guys, I feel for this group, with your creations, what you create, definitely if you make things that people laugh, like make people laugh, or if you create things that make you laugh, for one thing. Like, some of this is literally like you being in your own element and liking things and doing things you like that bring you a lot of joy, that like make you laugh with life. And it's like that Gemini energy too. It's like that trickster energy, that playful kind of goofball energy. It's like being able to do that, and in doing that you actually ground yourself, because it's like you kind of come out of like the craziness of the world and you're able to ground yourself through humor. And it's a very good release for you and other people. I feel called out with the P word. Wise leadership for you, this group too. She's actually holding, I don't know if you guys can see it that well over here, but she's holding this anatomical heart in her hand, like the representation, like the anatomical, and it's green. And this is showing me that this group, with what you create, you have to realize, especially with this wise leadership, people are going to follow your example. And you hold a lot of power over how people view their self-worth with this heart in your hand. But you also readily extend your heart too. That's what's coming with this generous humor energy. For some of you, you'd like just to bring light to people and help them laugh through things, because, you know, let's face it, a lot of things that do happen on this planet aren't that great. And it's like you're more grounded in the sense that it's like some of this stuff is just plain ridiculous. But you also have this warrior energy too. It's like being like, you guys are probably that warrior energy that really steps out and keeps going. And that's why you can see the humor in things, because like some of it's just plain ridiculous. Then you have truth coming out with Ma'at. for those of you that really connect to her. This truth energy, this is pretty much just very authentic energy. It's being very grounded and being able to see the light side of things and be honest with yourself and just let that shine, and it creates leadership capabilities. If you're feeling like you're lacking in the leadership department, it's because you're not allowing these parts of your personality to shine. It's like it's natural for you to have this. If you're repressing it, you're actually repressing a lot of your blessings as well that come through this. And then you get Bridget, Creative Spark. Like this group, you guys definitely have this energy where you're creative, okay? Even if you don't feel you are creative. Even if, like, this could be my people that don't feel like what they say really holds anything, but their words are very powerful. This is, especially with this color, is making me think of everything I talked about with that Seven of Wands reversed. Because having this good disposition, if you're to go into a different emotion, people can easily feel like they're being attacked by you just because they're used to your nice disposition, you having a good humored, light-humored disposition. But when you come through swinging some truth and you need to say some things, and you're doing it out of wisdom that you've gained and you're doing it from a grounded place, it is actually very healing for people. It actually helps ignite some things that people might have lost, like motivation and things like that. But that's only if you're being honest with yourself. If you're coming from a very, like, warped kind of place, or like a very, like, it's almost like what you're trying to say is just to make people listen instead of just talking because, you know, you feel called to talk and you want to say some things. If you're doing it for, like, the recognition and things like that, that's not what this is for. This is for you stepping up and becoming your own leader, and then in that sense you become leaders of other people. So let's see what the tarot has for my little twin group over here. Okay, let's just throw these out, because you guys seem like a thump group. So first, the first thing we have here, so the first group we get that doesn't have compassion in there, we get love reversed. Okay, this coming out with Earth over here. We're just going to go ahead and talk about this a little bit. For one, you guys have a thing when you allow, like I said, this disposition you guys have. When you're being very loving and people see this, it's very healing. It's something that's very nurturing. You might feel people take it for granted, which makes you close it off. It can make some of this burst come out, especially when it deals with anything like creating or mothering energy, things like that. When you have this offset happen, it's like you're not only doing this kind of harm to those around you, this is like harm to yourself as well. This is creating more and more things just sitting in your heart space that you keep looking back at. It's like this is a very healing energy. And for you to shut that off, it's shutting it off for you too. And then we have the Six of Earth here with this guy. Nice burden sitting on the shoulders here, and he's also wearing a lock and key. So yes, you are very central to your own healing. You're not going to be going around and being healed by somebody else. I'll just put it that way. You are carrying this. You have the sickle over here for taking care of crops, being able to mold things. Like I said, this feels like an alchemist pile. You're being given this fruit in order to change it into something. Now, if you're just viewing this as you being chained to this thing you have to do, like it's like a ball and chain, you're obviously not seeing. You're literally holding your own lock and key. And sitting here withholding love and trying to shut it down because of this feeling of being trapped in isn't doing you any good here. It's actually stifling a lot of things. Like, you're not going to be able to go around and actually harvest the things that you're creating over here with all of this earth energy if you're just constantly carrying this around. It's almost like this can also be some stubborn Taurus energy coming out with this, because it's almost like carrying the yoke and you're like trying to create, but what you're doing is you're creating for other people, and it's not necessarily people that appreciate it. You need to realize that if people take advantage of your good nature, that doesn't mean you need to punish every dang body. Like, you can literally cut your energy off from that person without causing like a mass, like everybody is like not taking up my space right now, I don't want to deal with anybody, because that isn't fair to the people that have been honoring you. And the next thing we have, okay, some of you love birds. We have this Two of Water here, and as you can see, this guy is completely nestled in her bosom. He is a very happy person right now. He is so at peace. This is like a lot of very loving energy. And like I said, you guys naturally have loving energy. And you have very lighthearted energy, even if you don't feel it. This is something that's natural. If you are fighting this energy, it's obviously causing you a lot of pain, because this is a gift. If you're feeling like it's a weakness, you can't trust it, this is actually your truth here. You are a loving person. You're a very healing person. The thing you're putting out, that you are nothing but burdened, is actually blocking you from this, when you actually have all of this to give and receive. Okay, so there's two things, which I'm not surprised with there being the twins energy here. This card specifically, it wants to have both some of you talk to it this way and talk to it this way. So I'm going to go over this way first. Like I said, you guys are manifestors. Your thoughts become very rapidly what you want to create. But you have to be the one in control of the reins here. This is you taking leadership of your thoughts. Be very intentional with what you're doing. This is someone that's seeing the dark and the light over here, combining things, transmuting things, having a sacred space for herself, making sure that she's out in nature. She's doing all the things. And this is like, it's the thought that counts for you guys. It really is the thought. Now, the other way, some of you think too damn much. Like, you completely stifle yourself, especially when it comes to your loving energy. You stifle the hell out of it because of how much you think. You literally bury your healing and your love underneath all these thoughts that honestly aren't even true. Like, this isn't your truth here. Like, you're coming out the gate already thinking all these things. But if you were to stop and pause and allow yourself to like have the space to think about it, actually give yourself a little bit of this love that you have here that you're shutting out, you would see the truth here is that your mind is really throwing a wrench into all these things just flowing naturally. Then we have the Eight of Wands. I mean, not the Eight of Wands. I saw a wand in her hand. This is the Eight of Earth. Call it again. But with this being reversed here, once again holding a sphere, having this Eight of Earth energy, this right here, I'm going to show it to you upright so you can see this art in here. but she has all her eyes open plus some extra, and she's also cusping this thing where it's like this very it almost reminds me of my Aura Rose Quartz over here in her hand. Now, this speaks to me of a lot of healing, because there is a lot of green going all into that pink sphere, which is all about like self-compassion and healing. And plus there's so much greenery in this picture, and it's trying to show like a bunch of growth, a bunch of opening. Like even like her, like whether you can see it or not, her hair is like extremely long. Like it's like all over the place. And long hair a lot of times in different cultures is associated with spirituality and just your connection. So this coming out reversed is like you're not really understanding this connection is so important. I mean, it started out talking about it, like, you know, that connection. Your truth is hidden in here. So, like, you need it. This group is the one that needs that connection in order to really understand what the hell is going on. So let's see. Bottom of the deck is... So this right here is the Three of Air. And this is someone who really is, like, learning. Like, this is a lot that needs to be learned here. There's even this portal over here that's leading somewhere else. It's like you've never learned too much, guys. And as much as this group might hate to hear that, yes, you're going to keep learning things, and it's not always going to be easy. This is something that is just going to happen. You're being shaped into a leader, and if someone that is not really looking to better themselves becomes a leader, especially since this guy has a key around his neck too, if you're just carrying around burdens instead of realizing, like, this guy doesn't have a lock anymore. Like, he only has the key, which means he understands what the key is instead of carrying a lock around with him. Like, the more you learn and the more the more wisdom you gain, this is pretty much what's going to help you open this up. And a lot of you are just really blocked off because you're doing it out of resentment. So let's see on the more ancestor side what's coming through for this group. The Andean Cross. This is a lot of inner compass energy. This is knowing all the directions you go and knowing that you can trust. Having this come out with all of this earth and feeling burdened and closing off that love, it's almost like being told you know better. Like, you know this doesn't help. I mean, it even has two energy with it, which is intuition, like pretty much like intuition screaming at you. What do you think you're doing? Like, yes, you've been through a lot of things, but you're creating extra hurdles for yourself. Some of you, like I said, there's some stubborn energy coming out here where you're fighting against this thing and trying to hold on to this. It's like your willpower is going in the wrong direction almost. You guys have the circle. Like I said, you guys are blessing manifester things over here. Your thoughts are very powerful. Also with this love energy, some of you obviously having some trouble in relationships because you keep going in a circle. And this circle is happening purely because of this mistrust you have with yourself. This is your own work you need to do. Instead of trying to change surroundings, you need to start like really looking in and seeing why you're getting this repetitive pattern happening. And you need to be a little lighter on yourself with it. And if you're being really harsh on somebody because you're not realizing they're reflecting your shadow right now, you need to deliver some love. Just saying. The journey. Oh, I literally told you guys this stuff wasn't over. And you're going to get the journey. It's not about the destination, literally, for you guys. It is all journey. It is just one big journey. So quit thinking about the end of this, the end of that, the end of this. You guys are literally like this circle energy, this just journey energy. So what's going to keep coming back to you repetitively, because you are very fruitful, you're very abundant, is exactly what you are putting out. Now, lifelong journey here. Obviously, that sounds very general when you think about it, but for this group, very much in particular, there's even the possibility that your ancestors did a lot of journey type things, like different lands and things like that, but also the fact they might have had a lot of deep spiritual journeys that weren't passed down to you, and now you're picking it back up, like the circle of life is starting to flow again. And I keep doing this, and it's making me think of past also, because instead of doing the circle of life, I'm doing it like this. There's a lot of past energy that you hold on to, that you let color what you deem is worthy of love and what isn't. You need to start pushing that forward so you can start getting some of these blessings here. You need to quit fearing the journey and start taking it instead of only thinking about the destination. You even got medicine wheel. Like, how many circles do you guys need? Medicine wheel being here once again looks like another compass energy, having this hummingbird, which is obviously a very fast energy, very speedy. It's also a very delicate energy, because if you think of how hummingbirds feed, it is like they're very delicate with the flowers they touch. They also have a very spiritual connection with how much they are in tune with their bodies. The snake being this knowledge over here that you guys are kind of needing to realize that it's going to be a journey. It's like the knowledge of knowing this actually brings some like more steadiness. Definitely protection over here with this leopard, and then having this discernment with the eagle. You guys, things are going to go around. You guys are in a very karmic thing. It doesn't mean it needs to be painful. You can definitely create pain for yourself. But what's happening is karma's coming back to you, and that's why the circle isn't stopping. And it's very much about learning to appreciate it. You'll reach you'll reach destinations, but there's always going to be another one. And that's why you guys need to learn in particular to enjoy the journey, because you guys are way too caught up in the process of it being something in your hand or being tangible in front of your face, hearing it, whatever it is, to actually take in each step getting there. And that's where the gratitude comes in, is when you take in each step. And the gratitude, and it's the giveaway. This right here, you guys, there's a few things with this. For one, some of you are just straight up giving away your power here. Like I said, you guys have a lot of manifestation power. And if you're doing this thing where you're just constantly manifesting bullshit, it's like you're just giving your power away to all of that stuff, instead of actually looking at what it's causing you. Also, the fact here being, like I was saying, karma, this is literally a big cycle of like this give and take of karma. It's a big circle for you, and needing to learn to enjoy while it's happening, like the whole exchange, not just the part where you see something. It's also being able to give up control as well. It's like releasing and knowing that things are going to fall into place. And then we have Spider Woman, she who creates from a central source. More Gaia energy over here. Your central source, like how this web is coming out of the heart chakra, like I said, blocking off love is not helping you guys a lick of good. You're only punishing yourself, to be honest with you. Way worse than what you're doing to other people. Also, this is someone who is really good, I'm going to say a few different things here. Good at weaving different things, like I said, more manifestation energy here, but also good at weaving tales, whether that's storytelling or this could possibly also be manipulation. Now, obviously, decide what you want to do with your energy. You can manipulate things. I know manipulate's been made into like a word that always has negative connotations, but manipulating something could also mean something's malleable. Like I said, this twin energy over here, that magician energy, this is being able to transmute something. This is being able to manipulate elements into doing what you need to be done. Once again, a lot of manifestation energy. And this is learning how to create from that space. But also for those of you that go on the more negative side of it, and you know, and you catch yourself doing it, you need to realize you're creating karma with that. So if you get smacked in the face, that's why you're getting smacked in the face. You have eclipse coming out here with transformation, and on top of circle, like you guys, once again, cycles, lunar cycles. But this is also giving you guys a timeline because there is an eclipse. It's going to be May 26th. It is going to be a blood month, so it's going to be a red moon. This transformation that's taking place, especially this change in attitude and you being able to kind of be more present, is really going to allow you to start understanding this energy more. It's going to help you step more into a leadership role because you're honoring a truth. Like, this is like a big move from someone who's just closed off to being able to talk and realizing where the strength comes from. Then we have Dana, the Flowing One, Mother Goddess of Forest People and Fairy. Now, I already mentioned Mother Energy earlier. And having this modern, okay, we're going to go with modern Mother Energy because for some reason we're wanting to talk about some modern energy now. This is having that balance between knowing what it is to be feminine, have that mothering energy, being present, because the thing is, like, this forest, you have more forest and nature energy. This is a very grounded energy. And like I said, to have this energy in the kind of environment we're in now, with how modernized things are, it's very difficult. But you being able to master this is like part of your journey. It is also part of what puts you into being able to lead, because not only is it forest energy, but it's fairy, which means it is the humor, it is playing, it is having fun. You tapping into this energy is really big potential for you. And this is like going along with transformation energy. You got, okay, going with this medicine wheel, you are, like, this is basically like, you know, you, like I was talking about lunar cycles, and we got like the lunar cycle thing going over here. But it's like, you're literally like, magic is what this is trying to say. Embrace your magic. Realize that you are your medicine, that your truth is your medicine. And all of the burying that you're constantly doing is pretty much just keeping you from flowing with your cycles. Like, you really have cycles. You have circles. You have a lot of repetitive things that happen in different areas because it's trying to show you flow. Because the more you fight it and the more you try to shut it down, it's almost like quit wasting it is pretty much what you're being given. And then you have Kali, goddess of rebirth and transformation. So just in case you did not get the point with the eclipse, we're also going to pull her out and get a nice talking to about you guys going through transformation again. It's a big one. It's not some little thing. we're going to talk about our garden quartz babies. These little twins that are coming up here. Now, with these little guys, especially having some of this red banding, it's going to definitely go into the root chakra, about that security and that grounding, having this green with the heart chakra. Once again, clear quartz, all this aligning and opening, but having these bands going across like they are. Once again, even though they look linear, they are looping around. So appearances are deceiving. You may feel like you are going in a straight line on your journey. You're on a loop. Even the crystals want to show you that you're on a loop here, so you kind of start getting the picture. But it's like, quit fighting the loop. The loop's actually your power. As much as you don't feel happy being on a merry-go-round, this is actually where you find your abilities, is through this. You also, where did I take you guys from? You also have an energy of balance in you that is very much needed, having the two. It's like, it's not like a split that you have. You need balance. So if you're very in one direction with your energy, you are not going with the flow. You're not in your circle cycles that you have multiple of over here. You're not healing. And you're not going to be getting back all these things you're trying to manifest, because it's like, where are you expecting to put it? Like, you're sticking burdens where the blessings are supposed to be sitting, and you're closing yourself off. So be honest with yourself, guys, and try to be a little more lighthearted. I know you feel called out with the P word, Rajan, but I mean, it's like, allow yourself to be honest with a lot of things. So the last group we have is our beautiful green moonstone. So let's go ahead and put our green moonstone over here. And let's get started with you guys. Okay, so green moonstone, what you got going on? Okay, all you guys, I mean, it kind of goes without saying, us having humor and laughter being healing obviously is a huge medicine. But for every pile to get humor, this, obviously the world is like bogging us down, even collectively, because it wanted to go through all the piles, so collectively through all the pick-a-cards. There's this need for honoring the inner child and having more fun and play and having more life being given. Now, for this group, though, it feels like you guys are the life givers, for this being the first thing out and me saying that. The world needs more. And it's almost, okay, we're going to throw Earth out here. I was about to say, almost like your light actually creates potential in other people. Oh my gosh, guys. You guys need to quit chunking stuff at me. I feel like the reason, okay, we're just going to have Lilith come out. I was about to say, I feel like the reason you guys get stuck and like block this is because you're impatient with how this stuff is getting thrown out here, and plus you have time here and you have independence, and Lilith was a very impatient person and she definitely was rebellious. But there is a lot of strength in your independence. This is definitely for those that had that self-reliance thing. There is a lot of strength in that. There's a lot of beauty in it. People find a lot of beauty in your independence. But the thing is, you don't want to lose this soft side of yourself. If you've had to really go into a place where you had to be very hard in order to have your independence, this is trying to show you that you can have the softness, you can have the nurturing energy, you can have the patience with this time energy, you can create time because it has that creation energy, and still have your independence. You don't have to give any of this away. This could be those of you that really didn't like the thought of losing some of the authority over your life by just allowing things. Realizing things heal with time, being able to go back and be understanding of things. You guys might make light of a lot of situations, but you don't truly allow yourself to process them. So it can be a double-edged sword for you guys. And then you guys get Sophia over here with divine wisdom. So yeah, you guys are definitely lit up over here and have a really, like, you guys, for some of you, could easily have the thing with the words where you're joking and then the joke happens. Because sometimes things that aren't necessarily your wisdom, but it's like it comes out of nowhere and it flies out of your mouth, especially when you're giddy. If you're in a good mood, it's almost like that is your home energy, and when you're in it, things just come out. Really good wisdom comes out of your mouth when you're in that. And sometimes you need some time to process it, because it's kind of like, oh, what the hell was that? But it's almost like you need to do study on yourself. It's not like you need other people trying to tell you what this is. This is more like you need to decipher it. This is something you need to do on your own. So we have the Two of Air. And as you can see, there is very stark differences here in this card, and it's all about balance. It even has the scales in there. It has this aligned energy that perfectly shows light and dark. Now, like I was saying, sometimes you guys just get random inspiration and divine wisdom, and it's literally your own thing. And it's like the reason you're able to process this is because you're feeling the split here. Like you can see what is part of this, what is part of that. And the fact that this is connecting is showing that you understand that there needs to be integration. But sometimes, like I said, this impatience over here with yourself can definitely wear thin and feel like it should be looking like something different. Once again, some Ten of Water reversed over here. Your introspecting abilities are very pronounced. Like you can definitely deep dive. Coming up for air is a little harder for you, especially when people tell you you need to take care of yourself. It can make you get very irritated because it's like, I know it's good for me, but then at the same time you're not doing it. It's like you're not listening to your body. You're just trying to do the deep dive because you feel like you're running out of time, and you're not. You actually have the gift of time. Like you have time to do everything. That is like a really big thing for this group. Like you guys feeling, ooh, I almost fell on my face. You guys feeling rushed. My gosh, you guys are gonna fall on your face. You need to chill. This energy with you guys, like there's some chillage that needs to happen here. It's gonna work out, it's gonna happen, but you guys need to give yourself more credit, and you also need to be more present because you're wasting time by worrying about time. It's like you could be doing something that's good for your body instead of feeling like I need to like drive myself into the ground and discover everything there is to know about my shadow side, because Lilith is that dark feminine energy. It's like trying to discover everything about yourself in one day, and it's like you overload yourself and then you get stuck there. Then we have the Father, which, like I said, I felt like this group had a lot to do with that authority thing where you guys get ticked off with people trying to tell you what to do and you need an authority. This Father energy, there was even the card that said the Father that came out in the collective. You guys need to really... Okay. There's a lot of things. Saturn coming in here too. So... a lot of responsibility that this pile feels. A lot of things that they feel like they need to do. They don't have enough time. They need to get everything figured out now, when that's not the case. You aren't born knowing everything, no matter how connected you are, and no one does know everything. So, you trying to push yourself into getting, like, all of this independence, all of this understanding in a very short amount of time is very taxing. It's very draining, and you need to be a little more protective of yourself and your energy instead of expectations, especially societal ones. You also have this destiny reversed. You guys are thinking way too heavy on what you need to be doing. It could be causing you to be so focused on your independence that you're dropping people that actually care about you. It could even be masculine figures that are very nurturing that care about you. All of this energy coming up with destiny reversed is like you being told like you're on the path. It's not like you're running out of time. You need to take a chill pill and not worry about this as much. Like, this is like, it's already there. It's good. You really need to inject some more play into your life instead of constantly grinding yourself down here and trying to be like, I need to have this yesterday. And then you have heaven and earth reversed. Sorry, I think I pulled the camera. But this heaven and earth reversed here. Trying to stop it from shaking. But this heaven and earth energy right here is basically showing that you guys like forcefully pushing yourself towards this, even though you feel like you're creating your heaven on earth, you're actually stunting it. It would come a lot easier for you guys if you weren't so adverse to giving up some of the control here. Because to you guys, it just seems like it is not an option. I don't feel comfortable with this. I don't like being told what to do. Like, this is like very rebellious energy, but at the same time, it's also, there's so much potential here, but you guys don't like listening. Even to your guides, which is very irritating to them. And then we're going to get the Nine of Water. You see how she is here? With the heart being open in her third eye and like getting these messages. This is pretty much like I was saying, even from your guides, it's like you guys would have a lot easier time doing this and not feeling like you're fighting this uphill battle all the time if you would trust a little more instead of feeling like you're going to lose your life to allowing some ebb and flow there. You guys are like really, you guys have naturally this very in-tuned energy, and it's like a very nice, beautiful, warm energy, but you push people away because you feel like you have this thing you need to fulfill and that other people are wasting your time, and that's not true. It's like you guys need to realize you have like a group. I'm kind of wondering what's going to come out with this ancestor energy over here, but you need to realize you have a group that is here with you, and you pushing them away is really irritating them. Yeah, because we get the beloved, like I told you guys, like this card is all about the ancestors coming in and you being like, you know, what they're proud of, what they want to protect. Like, you're really protected in this energy, and that's probably why a lot of times when you might have that moment where you say things jokingly and the things happen, This is their direct connection to you. They connect to you through your happiness, which is why it gets irritating sometimes when you guys run off and it's like there's no time left in the world, and they're over here like, that's what we blessed you with, was time to do this, and you're not even paying attention. You guys are really protected. Really, really, really. Through all your follies and all of your crazy energy you have going on, you are very protected. You have Jaguar here too, which is a very protective spirit. This is like grounded protection. Once again, coming out with some Gaia energy. It's like very grounded, earthy protection. I feel like your guides are a little worn out right now from all this direction they've been trying to give you. You have the Holy Mountain, which this is like a journey that needs to be done in order to realize your own divinity. It's like, instead of feeling like, oh, it's my destiny to do this, this, and this, you need to focus a little more on yourself and the things you're not doing, because you having all this protection is pretty much like you need to start doing this journey where you understand your place. It's not all about independence. It's about being at home with you and with whatever goes on around you. This guy's sitting on top of a mountain with the freaking solar system revolving around him. So obviously, even though he's alone, he's not. And that's like a big message for you guys here. Wind. This, I'm telling you guys have so much lofty energy. And it's like I was saying earlier with Gemini energy, it can be really trickster, playful energy. Having the split too reminds me of the twins with this wind energy. You guys are too heavily focused on this. It's almost like the other group where you guys are really focused on the end part, but you guys aren't necessarily focused on these little things. It's like this whole life's thing you're supposed to accomplish. You're wanting it done tomorrow or today or however crazy fast you want this thing done. This is trying to help you guys realize like that you're very much connected. You're not, I mean, they're all these cards is like being extremely connected. Even your journey into learning this, it's saying that you can do this because we're all around you. For all your independent streaks and your rebellion, your guides are very patient with you guys. And they're trying to help you see you can take some time for yourself. You don't have to constantly, middle world, you don't have to constantly be trying to push yourself to like the edge of the world over here. Like, you're perfectly fine being in the middle. Like, you don't need to be going through all of these things. It's almost like they're wanting you guys to grow a little bit of roots so you can actually feel the wind for once, instead of just like going willy-nilly all over the place and being completely impatient, almost like that Knight of Swords energy, and sticking your foot in your mouth, and cutting off ties that actually would benefit you. Like, there's a lot of that here just because you feel so pressed for time. And they're trying to make you understand, like, you are putting the time limit on yourself. Like, there really is no reason to be putting that pressure on yourself. It's almost like you're being the stubborn, hard-headed father to yourself, and they're like, okay, that is not what we've been trying to do here. Priorities. Oh my gosh, this group. Focus on what truly matters to you. Okay? Guys, she's even holding a heart. You need to focus on what's important to you when it comes to your heart space, not towards what other people are doing in the world or towards what you feel is like your calling in the world. You can be passionate about that, but there's things right here, right now that your guides are really trying to protect your ass from, because you're not focusing on what is truly important. This can be family, this could be relationships. This could be current things that you're doing that you're very passionate about, that you're dropping by the wayside because you're getting really wrapped up in the fact that you feel like you need to be sitting in your destiny already. You need to be bringing in, whether you're wanting to sit in it because the income it'll bring you, or you're wanting to sit in it because of the notoriety. They're letting you know this isn't happening because you're looking at it from the wrong space. You're going to get these things, but right now you need to look at your priorities. They're trying to save you from greed pretty much. And then, like I was saying, you guys have this manifestation energy. You're very protected, very fruitful, very abundant. You naturally come from this space. And once again, this humor, and we have the solar plexus lit up with this manifestation energy. Being able to be in the light of your spirit, like I'm talking about like the humor, like the lightheartedness, more than how you come down on yourself feeling like you're not here yet. Your priority needs to be your well-being, not the fact that your destiny is way off in the future and it's calling you. Like you need to be manifesting what you want currently that is good for you. And we have last quarter here with release coming out here, like this holy voyage and having release coming out here, and this destiny reverse. Some of you might be heading towards this area that you think is your destiny, but it actually isn't. It's just that you're very obsessed with it. It's like North Node energy. You could be having aspects to your North Node, or possibly the transiting North Node is just doing some really wonky shit to your chart. But it's like you need to get a hold on this energy so you're not being pulled in this place to where you're creating something, using all your gifts, you're creating something, but it's not actually the thing because you're forcing it, you're impatient. This is something that's going to come in when it's supposed to. You need to be taking care of you now. And you guys get the goddess of the volcano. Creativity, change, and protection. Once again, some more protection for you guys. I don't know how overboard your guides have gone with trying to protect you from some of your rash decisions. Let's put it that way. You guys have a lot of very beautiful creative energy, and they have had to step in big time and protect you from a lot of decisions you've made just because you've rushed off and done things feeling like you didn't have time to sit and think. You're being told now you need to release that old way of thinking and realize you have time. You can actually sit here, you can think through things, you can process them. You can learn and get knowledge and wisdom, and then you can act. You don't have to constantly act on the spot when something happens. There's a lot of power in knowing when to stay still and when to exert your light or your force or whatever it is with this flaming energy over here that you need to bring out. That's not this, if you look at this calming energy over here, it's like there is times where, yes, you need to exert this energy, but it's not all the time. You're going to burn out. Like you're going to head towards something that's not necessarily what you wanted to create just because you were craving rebellion. And, oh, this is great. For this pile, we have labradorite, wisdom, intuition, and divination for your bottom of the deck. Labradorite is this right here. This lovely sphere. It's like the blues on this side. I want to see if I can show you guys the blues that go up over here. I'm doing some donation ones after I get off the live. I mean, if you want me to, I can do yours here before I get off, since I'm already up here. But yes, for you guys, on top of having green moonstone, you had labradorite here. So I don't know if you guys have that or if it just kind of was something you think is pretty and you want to get it. But this right here for your pile, you have the green moonstone. So we obviously want to think of the properties of the moonstone, how there is this feminine receptivity that comes from this energy, but there's also this intuition, and there's a lot of emotional healing, getting in touch with that divine feminine energy. It's also a very grounding energy because having this green energy with it really brings in that sense of nature and being able to feel at home. And I mean, you guys have a whole bunch of nature down here, but feeling at home in it. And there's also this sense of peace because it is a very calming energy. It's really good for soothing different heart things. It could be why you guys act very rashly sometimes is out of past heart hurt. And that's why, like, you have that gift to be able to see humor and bring light in everything, and it's being given to you almost like, how can I put this? It's almost like it's being given to you as a blessing, but some of you are seeing it like a curse because you attract groups of people that really like you, but you feel like people don't know you. And it's like, because there's a deeper side to you, and that's why you have this independent streak and you act very rashly, and your guides are trying to show you, hey, we're bringing you good people, and you guys like burn bridges like it's no one's business. And they're trying to bring some insight to this. They're trying to help you develop some wisdom and intuition when it comes to these things, instead of being so focused and pretty much like barreling down the path of like, this is what I need to be doing. Like I said, you guys need to see what's going on with your north nodes or the transiting one in your chart, because you're definitely having some obsessive pull energy to this destiny, or possibly see if there's any kind of transiting gods happening, because that can have a major shift in your chart too. But that is what I have for my group.